All right, everybody, welcome again to our Porch Parish podcast. Today we're in the booth live at RZ's Lebanese restaurant with Thomas Scott, financial advisor, a man with many hats, and he's brought a hat with him today. Thomas, how would you like to be known in Zachary?
A community advocate is probably the best word that comes to my mind. How I want to be known. Community guy.
Yeah.
You know? It's about why we're here. Why you live in a small town. Why you're not in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's the purpose of staying in a town that initially started out 7,000, 8,000 people, that's now about 20,000 people strong? Because you want to be a community advocate.
Yeah. All right. Well, I wouldn't argue that's how most people know you. That's how I know you. You're also the guy that just comes up to me, gives me a big bear hug, and lifts me off the ground sometimes.
Share the love.
Yeah.
Share the love.
You know what I mean? In a time of social distancing, sometimes. Yeah, look, we won't make this on.
It's okay.
Thomas, so what keeps you here? What brought you to Zachary?
Well, born and raised here. Port Hudson, right on the outskirts of Zachary. Family's been here. My mom is actually from Scotland. So my dad's from Zachary. My dad went to Zachary. I graduated from Zachary. I actually played sports there.
Mm-hmm.
So they got married, had me. I had no other choice. This is where I'm rooted and grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't see a need to go anywhere else, man. So I love it. I've grown up here. And the leaders that are around us, most of them have grown up here as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, look, where'd you go to college?
Northwestern State.
All right.
So,
Natchitoches?
Yes. Interesting story on that. Played football, played basketball. Didn't want to play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Ended up playing basketball.
Okay.
Not a basketball guy. I don't like all the running. And I was a field thrower at track.
Mm-hmm.
So football was really my passion.
Mm-hmm.
So I continued to play throughout the years. Then I wanted to also go further, play college.
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity. Coaches would come by and coaches would ask questions. And took a few trips.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric Lewis and I graduated together. He's actually my cousin. So he said, "Hey man, let's go together."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I said, "All right, wherever you go, I'll go."
Uh-huh.
And so we were this close to going to Grambling State University, and we went up there, man. We had it wasn't an awful experience,
Mm-hmm.
but the experience that we had when we took a recruiting trip to Grambling was, this is what we're about here at Grambling, and it wasn't more on education.
Okay.
They didn't really focus on that. They focused on athletics,
Mm-hmm.
tradition, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
But we went to Northwestern State, and it was athletics, and it was academics. And this is what we expect. We want you to learn. We want you to be a student athlete, and they focus on the student part versus the athlete part. And so that was, intriguing to us. And then we had an opportunity to play football.
Awesome.
So love that time up there.
All right. Well, look, I do want to I want to know what your big play was that you remembered. But you're giving me a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Does the Zachary athletics program focus too much on sports as a community district?
Yeah.
Are we balanced?
So I would say the community is one answer. The school district is another answer.
Okay.
Right? Because you have, and I think I saw a post the other day. It talks about the baseball team. Zachary High baseball, the average is 3.3 GPA.
Yeah.
And they applaud that. Mm-hmm. So we applaud the student athletes for their education, their academics, as well as their athletics. Mm-hmm. And I think, that should be publicized more, because in the community, we assume that it's all about athletics.
Yeah.
That's all it's about. No,
that is mutually exclusive.
That's
to
right.
grades.
That's
it's not
right.
true.
That's
Anybody who's worked in the company has understood that team is big, right?
That's right.
Leadership is learned through things like sports. So, awesome. All right. So, what was your big play?
Man, look, it was a penalty, but it was a huge play. So
you think about this at night, when you go to sleep sometimes. Is this a do-over, or is this going to be like a...
I'm like, could I hit him a little bit harder? Could I have really, thrusted it to him a little harder? But it's always a hard hit. But it was more of a reality check. Northwest is a 1AA school,
mm-hmm.
right? So when we play smaller schools, and our conference was the Southland Conference, so we played the McNeese States defense. And teams of that caliber, well, we always had a big game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and people today call it the money game. You know, that's when we go get a check.
Yeah.
You know, for a small school. And we play TCU, we play Oklahoma State when Les Miles was the head coach of Oklahoma State. We played them. But the game that I remember the most is when we played Georgia. We went between the hedges, we went to Athens.
Yeah.
Mark Richt was the head coach then. And
Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so David Green is the quarterback at the time. And so the defense we played a 4-2-5. And I was the drop in.
You're gonna act like I know what that means.
So 4-2-5 is the first.
No,
guy.
don't
There's
explain.
four
No,
guys.
you're embarrassing.
Listen,
Just
there are 4 guys on the
delete
line of
this.
scrimmage, 2 linebackers, and there's 5 defensive backs.
Okay.
All right, and so the drop in position, you know, you can rush, you can hold your technique and play straight base, or you could back off into the flats and cover flat receiver. So it was a specific play. In general, this was an eye-opening play, right before my biggest play. So the eye-opening play is I drop into the flats and I see this wide receiver and I got it.
Uh-huh.
And he's right there and I have my hand on his shoulder.
Yeah.
I turn and I look at the quarterback. I see the quarterback's back to me because he's right there. So he's back to me. He turns, he looks, he throws the ball. I see the ball leave his hands.
Uh-huh.
I'm touching the wide receiver. By the time my hand gets here to try to grab the ball, it's in the receiver's chest. He catches it out of bounds, and all I do is grab his feet.
Okay.
The speed of the game, you cannot estimate the speed of the game because he turned and threw the ball so quick, so accurate.
Right.
The talent that they have
Yeah.
in those SEC schools, when people talk about, oh no, there's SEC on the radar. No. I've seen it. Like I've been on the field and see how that talent.
So your brain was still processing.
Yes. Well, I knew right then when it happened. I said we're in for a long day.
It's not like Madden where they just light up all the little A, B, C. Yeah.
No. It's big time football. But the biggest, the play, you know, after we realized what we were in for, I said, okay, hey, we just got to play. You know, let your hair down and play.
Yeah.
So David Green, he's just, you know, you can't get to him because he's protected by trees. These guys are 6'7", you know, 350 pounds, pure athletes.
Well, all right, what were you at the time?
At the time, I was 6'2", 245.
Okay.
All right, so 6'2", 245 versus 6'7", 350.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
He's got a lot more weight, a lot more height.
Just trade lives with me. Okay. Yeah.
And so then the play I remember is just getting by the offensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
They were shifting off. You know, they do. The guard comes out. He didn't get to me quick enough, and I was able to lay a stick on David Green. Well, here's the thing. It's a game full of frustrations because you can't get to him. And when you finally get to him, you lay the hardest hit that you ever laid in your life. And I just remember laying him and sticking him so hard, and then getting up talking smack after I did it.
What did you say?
Yeah, 15,
no, come on.
15-yard penalty. Well, I can't, you know. I love the Lord. I can't.
I have to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the referee, you know, he hears me talking, and he hears me, you know, and
it's not a crime, is it?
it's like unsportsmanlike conduct on number 90.
Okay. They didn't have rules back then.
Yeah, they had rules.
You went helmet to helmet, and you made fun of his mom.
It was helmet to helmet in his back. You know, it was a huge hit, but helmet to helmet wasn't a penalty.
Right.
All right, so we could hit, and I hit him pretty hard.
Yeah.
But if I would have got up and went back to the huddle, I would have been okay. But I got up, stood over him, started talking noise.
Yeah.
15-yard penalty. Coaches didn't like it, but to me, that play, I'm like, ooh, I thought I hit him a little bit harder. Just damn, great plays, man. College was the best years of my life. You know?
Man, look, I don't know. I'm trying to. I have no college story other than I submitted a paper. Look, that's why it's all about these incredible people we have on the show.
That's why
Come
you
on.
have to share. We have to share stories. So then next time somebody talk about college, you can say, well, you know what? I have a friend, and let me tell you what happened. And you share the story.
I was a barista. Anyway. All right. So something that not a lot of people know about. This is something that I've known you for a couple years now, right? And I didn't know that you were the announcer at the Zachary football games. I mean, And look, if you've never been to a Zachary football game, there's like this incredible LED screen. Like the announcers got a lot of speakers.
Mm-hmm.
You hear what they say. Like it's an important job. So you're in the box.
Yep.
Tell us about that.
So I had an opportunity because I was over the youth football league. Zachary Drinking Broncos, sponsored by Legends. We did that. I did that for over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
One day, one of the announcers, Jimmy Palazzo, stepped down. He had some family things he had to take care of, and so they needed a color analyst for the radio. And they came across me and said, "Hey, Coach, you want to do this?" I said, "Absolutely. I'm good. I didn't think twice about it."
Yeah.
And so I got up there and they said, "All right, so this is what we have to talk about. This is what we have to do." I said, "We're going to talk football." And so they gave me a script and said, "Okay, you have to thank these sponsors, but we'll talk football."
You didn't thank the sponsors?
Well, we thank the sponsors during periods.
Right.
I'm like, we're here to talk about the game.
It's football time.
Yeah. And I think what I brought to the table in the beginning was just the country, hometown guy.
Yeah.
It's on the radio.
Yeah.
Talking.
But you know these things. Like you.
And that's the benefit.
You used to coach them in Pop Warner.
That's the benefit because the kids that I see now, I know they're. So I was blessed to be in a period where the mamas and the daddies made the kids go play.
Yeah.
And I kind of got out of it when I got to the period where mama said, "Well, if he don't want to play, he doesn't have to play," or "Well, I don't want to make him play." That's the step back. Because no, you expose your kids to everything, and you make them see why they don't like it. You don't just say, "Oh, I don't like it." No. You're not a quitter.
Right.
You're going to be exposed to everything. Yeah. And then when you get to be an adult, you can pick what you want.
Yeah, it's football. It's not broccoli.
That's
okay.
Right. That's right.
So, look, in that kind of same vein, a lot of college athletes are obviously getting these NIL deals.
Yes.
It's starting it's starting to trickle down to this high school level, and they are being approached, right? So, this question is two-part. What, if anything, do you think could help our athletes prepare at a young age? Do they need to be prepared? And I mean, do you think that high school athletes need to have phones and social media accounts and kind of starting to hype themselves at this point?
Yep.
Is that good for them?
Absolutely. And this is why I say that, because I've been in those locker rooms. I've had that mindset. In high school, I don't believe that NIL deals should be in high school, but I do believe it should be a preparation.
Yeah.
It should be taught in high school.
Yeah.
When you go to college, there are professionals that come in and talk to you about life. Yeah. They talk to you about balancing checkbooks. They talk to you things that are not taught in school. They teach you those things. All right.
Yeah.
Now that needs to trickle down to our athletes here in high school. Yeah. We need to talk to them about, hey, what pressures will you get when you get to college? Yeah. Not what pressures will you get when you get to the league, to the NFL, or whatever league professionally you play. When you get to college now, because that's a professional level, you can get compensation now for being a player.
Yeah.
All right. So we need to prepare them, and I think it is important that we start this at the high school level. Some people say, well, is it needed? I don't think you need to pay for it. Well, here's my thought. College football is a billion-dollar industry. There's so much money that goes into college football. Yeah. And we play it, and we pay the sidelines.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
LSU's coaching staff this year is on the hook for $17.5 million. $17.5 million.
And at no risk of breaking their leg or hurting themselves and never being able to benefit again.
Correct. So if the state of Louisiana and the Tiger Athletic Foundation can commit $17.5 million, I don't see the issue with having a business owner commit to say, well, the players that are allowing you to stay here and make this income, we have to compensate them some type of way. Now, it's not for everybody. I'm not saying you need to write everybody a check. Yeah. But if I go to the PMAC, I'm looking for somebody. If I go to Tiger Stadium, I'm looking for a certain player to perform.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Look, I almost need to keep this in scope with you. You were you're brilliant in so many ways. You're CPA, right? You're on planning and zoning. You're on multiple boards. You're not going to brag about any of this.
Nope.
I I know you've got some opinions deep down in there from your planning and zoning days. You know this is the stuff people talk about in Zachary. And, all right. Oh my gosh, we're having a 1 million person subdivision. How much land is there left in Zachary that can be developed? Can we buy it up, as a community and never let anybody else? What's going on with the development in the unincorporated zones? What would you do? And look, full disclosure, you're not running for mayor. You don't have that. You're not going for a political anything, right? Because we're having a seat change in Zachary right now. Obviously, huge seat change. Tell us, what do you want to see?
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Infrastructure and growth is inevitable. Okay?
Yeah.
And we've said that, and the chairman of the commission in our town, he says it all the time, and I agree with him 100%. You cannot stop growth.
Yeah.
You can't stop it. But you got to be smart about it.
Can't always be cow pastures. That's what he always
says. It's never going to happen that way.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen the way we all, let's just keep it country town. Because people require more things to live.
Yeah.
And if you have a growing city with a growing school district, you're going to have more people come to Zachary. But we have to be smart about it. And so the first thing that I go when we talk about the neighborhood, I'm not against development. Never have been against development. But it has to be smart. If I see property and you come with a preliminary plat and we see the homes, and you've got 980 homes, okay, you reduce it to 950 homes, okay, but the houses are next to each other. It's more like duplex living. And that's not smart growth. Okay? We have a perfect example of growth that wasn't done right next to us to the south in Baker, Louisiana. Back in the day, Baker was Zachary.
Yeah.
Baker was booming. If you lived in Zachary, guess where you went to? Baker.
Oh.
The bowling alley was in Baker.
Uh-huh.
The skating rink was in Baker.
Yeah.
All the activities that you needed to do was in Baker.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But over time, the growth wasn't handled as it should have been. Now, those businesses have left Baker.
Yeah.
Okay? So here you have a town now, Zachary, where businesses, we're trying to get businesses to come here and sustain themselves. Because we have the infrastructure, we have people coming in, and we have to continue to build the infrastructure.
Yeah.
We got to be smart about growth.
Yeah.
So
Well
we have to be careful of the type of houses that we allow these developers to build.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that on the city? I don't think so. I don't think that's on the city because the city is regulated, right? Because if you're a developer and you purchase land that has no restrictions on it, you can build if it's zoned properly.
You pay the engineers.
You get
the
your traffic
feasibility
started.
studies. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they're out hundreds of thousands if you can't rely on the zoning.
Right.
So
But at that time, guess what? That's your property.
Yeah.
And you can't tell them what to do on their property. But here's a scenario that I always like to give. If my dad passes away and my dad leaves me 150 acres of land, and a developer approaches me, and the developer said, Mr. Scott, I want to buy this land, and I asked them, what are your intentions? What are you going to do this? I said, well, I'm going to make a development. I'm telling him, okay, I will sell you the land under these restrictions. And then it is the developer's choice if he's going to buy the land or not.
Yeah.
You know, you can make it to a smaller scale. You know, I wanted to try to buy some land for my brother-in-law. You know, because we saw some land, so it's a restriction. Can't put a mobile home. Oh, it's a restriction. You can't build it here. Right. But I'm like, I commend the seller. I commend the person who initially had that land because they knew exactly what they wanted to see on that land before they sold it.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it starts. I think where it starts with the people.
The good city planning has those restrictions in place for you.
Yeah.
But if it's not there, then you're not playing the game right. You're setting everybody up for failure.
Well, when you get ready to sell land, I think being educated and not just sticking up for sale sign.
Mm-hmm.
But just say, listen, okay, I know you want to sell this land, I know you want top dollar, but think about the city too. Think about the community. Do you just want to sell this to anybody and get your money and run? Or do you want to sell this, but you still want the city to grow?
Yep. All right, well, we'll leave that one there. Oh, man. So where would you like to see Zachary go as far as economic development? I mean, what can businesses do better? When I wake up in the morning, I'm in this marketing mindset because you basically sell Zachary. I sell Zachary. We're invested in people liking it here, staying, living, succeeding. I like that kind of alignment. What can we do to create more of that alignment with everyone?
I think we are doing it. And you guys didn't tell me to say this. But what you're doing is helping that alignment. Right? The vision that you had at the beginning, saying, where's that source of information that we can actually have an opportunity to talk facts about what's going on?
Yeah.
Where's that? We don't have it. I can remember when the Zachary Post came out. It was like, oh my gosh, we can find out what's going on in Zachary.
Yeah.
So, what else is happening in Zachary?
We're used to daily news now, and it's so hard to provide that.
Yes.
But through these conversations, we can get up to the second information and inside conversation. I love it.
And you got to validate, the Zachary Ranch Rays.
You do. I was just in them today. I almost posted something. I was like, no, what the?
It's good people that care.
They do care.
You wouldn't post them
scared people.
Yeah, if you didn't care, you wouldn't post. So I look at it as we got a lot of people that really care about our community. And if we can educate them and let them know why the decisions are made, you got to tell people how the sausage is made. You just can't. You're just going to say, here, taste this. What is that?
That's a plug for Sausage Fest 2023.
So people want to know because they deserve. They have the right to understand what's going on and why the decision made. And I think once you get to communicating with more people on an annual basis, nobody's going to call in line and say, "Hey, what you doing? What's going on there? Why is this?"
Yeah.
He's got too many people to talk to.
Yeah.
It's his schedule's booked. Nobody's going to call the councilwoman or the councilman and say, "Hey, why did y'all do this?" Because they probably won't return phone calls because they have jobs. They work jobs and they're councilmen. So I think it's an opportunity. The alignment comes when we have avenues and we have places that we can come together and just talk facts and talk about what's going on in the city and ideas.
Can you give a quick plug for the? I'm thinking about you talking Factory Brew. I'm sorry to bring it back to that, but just before I forget, tell us about that radio show that y'all have. That's cool.
So it's the Porch Parish show.
Yeah.
Warren Brady is the mastermind behind that. And Warren Brady started that a couple years back.
Yeah.
Because we want to get more, and we want to get people more invested into the athletics program. And all what goes into it.
Right. We just see winning and losing.
You just see winning and losing. But you never get a chance to talk to them. You never get a chance to talk to them about what happened last week or what goes into this. And there's also the Porch Parish show, but there's also Chalk Talk.
Okay.
And I think that's sponsored by the Bank of Zachary. I think those guys do that. And so Tuesday nights we're at Walmart. 6 o'clock normally. And then Wednesday at lunch they're at used to be Mommy's.
Yeah.
Now at 12 o'clock. And so you get an opportunity to see and speak with them. Not only football season, but he's the athletic director. So he's over athletics. So that Coach Bruce show, that's a wide open forum. If you got questions, there's an opportunity there for you to write your questions down, put it in there. He pulls out, he answers questions from the community.
Love it.
And I think that's an opportunity for the community to come out and say, okay, well, what is Zachary Athletics doing?
Yeah.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do X, Y, and Z? And he's an upfront, honest man, love him to death.
All right. Excellent. Big plug for Mommies over there too. And Orzies. Just want to thank them so much for hosting today. We no lie, we see each other here quite regularly. I've always liked Lebanese food. My wife's got a little Lebanese in her. So anyway, but let's have a little fun. So this is what we call the lightning round. We're gonna play a couple games, some off-scripted stuff, maybe. Let's see how you do.
Oh my God.
Start with some easy questions. Are you a coffee drinker?
Yes, I am.
You are.
Yeah.
Makes my job easier. All right. Describe your favorite coffee mug.
Coffee
Says
mug?
a lot about you.
Yeah, coffee mugs I don't do.
Okay.
I don't. I do. I like the thermos.
The thermos. All right. Describe your favorite thermos.
I would probably say it has to have the fill bottom on the bottom, so when I sit it down, it doesn't really make a noise. So I can sit it down, it's quiet. and it slides on the table.
Yeah.
Functionality is everything for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And it sounds like the sound may affect you in kind of like a little Rain Man way.
I'm weird like that.
Okay.
I don't like to like how the cup hits the table. That kind of bothers me. I have issues.
Yeah. Can you have a butter knife pointed at you while we're at the table? No. All right. So are you a Keurig guy or are you like a bean purist?
All right. I'm more of a bean purist.
Okay. Okay. So tell me about your whole coffee routine in the morning. It says everything about you.
So it's changed. It's not the same every morning. It's a caffeine routine, if you want to call it. If I have coffee from home, right, it's normally loaded with collagen. It's normally loaded with vitamins and things that my wife, she buys it all.
Yeah.
The Amazon truck backs up to the house. So you open the cabinet, you think you're going to see dishes. No, you're going to see containers of supplements and all kinds of stuff. She said, "Oh, this is for hair health. This is for eye health."
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting overwhelmed. Like, are you one of those people that puts like butter in your coffee?
I don't. She does.
Right. So this next part is something we came up with called Truth or Dog.
Truth or
Dog. All right. Do you have a dog?
I do not.
You do not. Do you have a pet?
I do not.
Do not. Do you have kids?
I do.
Okay.
True.
All right. If you have a picture of your child within the first 10 photos on your phone,
Okay.
you have to show me that, or you get a really awkward question.
Okay. So the first 10 photos.
But first 10.
Okay. There's one.
All right. He's off the hook. I was gonna ask you when the last time you cried was. All right. What children's movie do you watch over and over?
Frozen. I am
We knew it.
Frozen. They laugh at me.
Yeah.
The backdrop of my phone.
Okay.
They talk. She was the fifth spirit. Frozen 2. She was trying to find out, who the fifth. She was seeking for it. And I tell you what, water was just something for me. The horse coming across the water and the little altercation they had, and how the horse recognized that she was a spirit and took her to the island to find. Oh man, that's the crying part. That's the awkward question.
No. Do you cry? Yes. Do you cry at Disney movies and children's? I do too.
Because the music.
Nobody.
The music by Disney is smart. So they put
Yes.
the music behind the times where you are most vulnerable at the end of the movie.
Yes.
It's like, oh my gosh.
It's like a biological reaction. They figured it out. It's just like, how a bag of potato chips has a bliss point with a certain amount of salt. Like, they know how to even make dads cry. It's anyway. I would like everybody who's cried at a Disney movie to just like write in. So I don't even care about the manliness anymore.
When I see Moana now, if I start seeing Moana, I just turn it off because I know that's automatic tears. You get to the
She's a
island.
wayfarer.
Yeah,
Yes,
she
I
finds
know.
Tafiki.
No. Heel Tafiki. All right, Thomas. I rarely see you dressed down. I have seen you dressed down. We used to do CrossFit together.
Yeah.
Look, are you still in the CrossFit shape?
No.
Can you handle a 20-minute Murph?
I can handle it. I don't know if I'll actually do anything.
Yeah.
But I can
Speaking of
handle it.
crying.
Yeah. CrossFit is something that I love because it gives me a regimen of what to do.
Yeah.
If you put me in the gym and say, "Here's all the equipment in the world, Thomas, go work out," none of that. I've got to walk in the door and say, "Hey, this is what we're doing."
Yep.
And start now. Go. That's me.
Boom. All right. Let's see what else I have here for you. What is? Okay, you have a nice pickup truck.
Yeah.
I just got rid of my pickup truck, and I'm feeling weird about it. I have a minivan.
Okay, good.
I'll just say it.
With a what?
With a
Hitch.
tail hitch. A hitch. I can haul 3,000 pounds. And I want to know what was the last thing you put in your manly truck? What was the last thing?
The last thing I put in the truck?
Yeah, in the back of your truck.
Oh, what's the tape? Tables.
Okay.
Folding tables.
For what?
I had to take some tables to my mom's house. My sister was doing something for the church, and I think the kids in the church came over, and she needs some extra.
Awesome.
I don't put very much.
I scratched that shiny bed line. No. All right. I'm just trying to make myself feel better. All right. We're going to play a game called Two Truths and a Lie. Okay? Two of these are true. One is a lie.
Okay, and I have to pick the lie.
You got to find the lie. Okay?
All
All right. Number one. The average household income in Zachary is $75,533.
That's
And
the lie.
hold on. And is the highest in the capital region. Number two. Wait. When was this polled, first of all? 2020.
That's the lie.
2020. Just hold on.
Okay.
The average work commute time for a Zachary resident is 45 minutes. 3. The average household size in Zachary is 3 people. Which one is the lie? And tell us why.
The lie is the $75,000 household.
Why do you think that's the lie?
Because if the state, because I know the state median, and I know the average household size here in Zachary. So just I guess I cheated because I know the numbers.
Okay.
And knowing
Thomas is a CPA.
I'm just saying,
CPA.
CRPC,
Why do we have anything with numbers?
CRPC, retirement plan. And so when I'm retiring a lot of people and I know their income, I kind of got a good feel of what people make around here.
You know what? I mean, we pulled it.
Is that the lie?
He's just that's the truth. But you're so convincing. Like I want to just say that the internet is probably wrong, and you're right.
Yeah, the internet's probably wrong.
All right. The lie was the average commute time is 29 minutes, not 45. Think about the average. So like
that would have been my second guess.
when you go to Government Street, or at least when I'm driving at my minivan pace, it takes me 30 minutes to get from that bridge. On the what is the interstate speed limit? 60. I'm going 55. I'm going 60. It takes me 30 minutes to get to Government Street downtown if I want to. About as far as I'll go. And then I'm ordering Costco delivered to my house if I need it. Anyway, I want you to write a question, or be thinking of a question, any question in the world that you want us to ask the next guest. Okay? All right, what's the question first?
Why do you continue to live in Zachary?
Got it. All right.
And that question comes from because you hear people all the time threatening to move, threatening to leave.
Yep.
If this doesn't happen, the question is, why do you continue to live? Exactly. Make sure that word continue.
Do you need a ride across city limits?
Yeah.
We have a pickup truck and a minivan. We'll gladly escort you. No. We're all about everybody staying, but no whiners, right?
Yeah. Look, when I coached the Little League, I would like to think I ran a tight ship. But I talk to parents all the time, and I liken the community to a family.
Yeah.
We live in Zachary. Mm-hmm. When I talk to people that are in Baton Rouge, and I say Zachary, they perceive Zachary with way up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hear. And I stop here. Oh, you live way up in Zachary? I stop. No, it's not way up here. It's not way over here. No, it's not. It's Zachary. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't take long to get here. But so we are a family. And people look at us as Zachary. Okay? So the business that we have, we got to take care of ourselves. If my wife and I, we having a disagreement, or we have an argument, I'm not going to go and post it on Facebook that, hey, my wife said this and this, and we're arguing about it. I'm not going to.
And in a good marriage, you probably don't threaten to divorce somebody. No. Like, you probably,
It's never the time that, I'm going to leave you.
No.
It's never.
Like, you put your dirty socks on the floor again. No.
Disagreements and the dirt and the skeletons in the closet or whatever, where the bodies are buried.
Yeah.
Your wife or your husband, they probably know those things about you. They know your past. They know what you've done and what you haven't done. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't get blasted during tough times.
I love that.
And so you have to take that mentality as a community. Say, look, if we are a community, we've got to stick together. So during our tough times, we've got to pick ourselves up.
Yep.
And we've got to do the better good for the community and not for ourselves and for our own opinions.
That's beautiful. You're making me think of something. I don't know what book this was, but in every organization, like, if you have zero trust in the people that are around you, like, they're gonna, if they have something wrong with you, or they think something's wrong with you, they're gonna go around you and blast that. you're eroding trust. And every time we do that to our restaurants locally, hey, there's a hair on my. You know what? Everybody's got hair, and it sometimes ends up in food. But let's not put that on Facebook. Go to the freaking owner. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's people that live here that want to feel included.
Yeah.
All right.
That's interesting.
So if they want to feel included, they do things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's like kids in class, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's talking to them. Nobody knows their name. So they do things. They laugh at people. They become bullies because they want to feel included.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you stop that?
I don't know.
You give them information.
I stopped bullying when I quit
that?
having a growth spurt.
But you give them information. Like you tell them things. You talk to them. You know, it's a reason why when you go to a new restaurant, the owner's probably there every night.
Yep.
And that owner's going to walk around and say, "Hi, my name's Thomas. Thank you so much. I opened this restaurant because of this, and I did this because of this." You're giving them information. Now they feel connected to you. They're not going to go post that.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
And it goes both ways. The owners also have to display that level of trust. And look, somebody's giving you feedback, you know, verbally to your face. Listen to them. You know what?
That's right.
Maybe your rice didn't come out right. Just go, you know.
And when I think of restaurants like that, you know, I think about here at Arzy's. I think about Gennaro's. You know, every time I go to Gennaro's, he's walking around.
He is.
He's standing there looking
Oh
at
my
TV,
God. Yeah,
and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
He cares about every single detail. It's beautiful.
Exactly.
That's a good thing.
But he's there to receive the negative feedback.
You got to be humble to receive the negative.
And you know he's there.
Nobody can hurt you. Yeah. Listen. All right. Well, y'all, that is a good place to end. Thank you for your time today, Thomas. And
Thank you so much.
just keep doing what you're doing, man. I look up to you.
Y'all too.
Yeah, appreciate it. All
Very
right.
impressive.
Yeah, let's do this again.
All right.
Listen to Porch Parish, the podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Thanks for joining us today, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.